Now, who was Isaac Ike Hicks?
Isaac Hicks is one of the biggest boys that come out of Miami, drug lords that come out of Miami, and he passed on. He passed on. You know what I'm saying? While he was in prison, but a real great man.
Okay, and what was your connection to him?
Well, when I was a kid, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I was a lookout, you know what I'm saying? And I was still in school, so, uh, back in the days, you know what I'm saying? He had one of the biggest, operations going, and I was a lookout for him, when I first started out. Kid, still in school, you know what I'm saying? And what happened was, he was a good man, and he had an organization back then. I just came through the ranks with him, and that's how, everybody that really came up under Isaac Hicks really went to a whole nother level. Mostly all the guys that worked up under him, off the tree that off his tree, really did great things. Went on to do great things in the streets.
Okay, so who are the Miami boys?
Well, the Miami boys originally started with me and a couple of guys that started going on the road. Started going on the road. I'm original Miami boy, and some other guys that really come up off that umbrella too, came off that tree too. That really started the Miami boys and started going to different parts of the United States. Getting money, and that's how we started to form the Miami Yo Boy. So we got a different swag in Miami. So whenever we go somewhere, they were so fascinated with us, and they pretty much gave us that name, the Miami Boy.
Okay, and you guys were also called the Untouchables.
No, that was the Untouchables is one of my little homeboys. Oop, you know what I'm saying? That's a whole different story, though. Yeah,
So you guys have this crew,
yeah,
the Miami boys,
right.
and Miami's kind of a hub for the drug trade.
At that time,
Yeah,
yeah,
you saw
was
like
the
the
hub at that
cocaine
time.
cowboys.
Right, was the hub at that time. You're right.
Okay, so all the cocaine from South America was all being dropped off through Miami and being distributed to the rest of the country.
Yeah, at that time, no.
Uh, Describe that time to me, because at that point I feel like the U.S. didn't exactly understand what was going on, and they were
Right,
still trying to play catch up, and
right,
billions of dollars were running through the city.
right. Well, to be honest with you, you know what I said at that time. You know what I'm saying? Uh, Miami was built from that. The pretty city you see now come from that. You know what I'm saying? That come from that, and at that time, no, of course they didn't have the technology they have now. You know what I'm saying? So I like to say they were 15, 20, 30 years behind at that time, and and things were running. And it was more money on the street at that time. There was more money on the street at that time than probably you'll ever see. Them times there, you'll never see again because we're in a different time. Technology and all that stuff there, and everything don't tighten down with the borders and stuff like that. So them days there, you probably never see again.
Okay, so when you were first starting, was Ike Hicks, was that your plug?
Now I started out with him. But he also at that time, you know what I'm saying. He was doing numbers. So yeah, if I needed something, I can go to him. You know what I'm saying. Yeah, yeah, I can say that. You know what I'm saying. But as you go along, up other things, up opportunities, up a road, other roads open up for you. So I would start doing all kind of other things. But he's basically like a start off kit. Like he started me off.
Okay, did you eventually get like a Colombian plug or another
Yeah,
South
that's what I'm
American plug?
saying. In them times there it was Colombians and Cubans. That down on our end that was really you know had all the work.
Okay, and Pablo Escobar was the main
Ain't
Colombian
no
during
question
that time.
about it. Ain't no question about it.
So were you dealing with Pablo Escobar's crew?
Yeah, with some of the people back then, you know what I'm saying. Like he had the Queen, Blanca, and stuff like that. We was doing different things. Like now, I keep in contact with her son now, Michael Corleone. You know,
Aha.
yeah,
Okay, so you were dealing with Griselda.
yeah. In a direct work. See, you got to understand back then. You know what I'm saying. All the work they come pretty much all the work was coming through them was was from them. So one way or another, where you were connected with them because they had mostly all the work back then.
Right. Well, the Colombians kind of had a reputation for being kind of upset if you didn't get their money.
Oh yeah, well a whole lot of people get upset if you don't get their money, but they was pretty much about that, getting their money, you couldn't take nothing from them, a lot of them.
Well, right. I mean, Escobar was killing politicians back in
Right,
Colombia.
right,
Like
right,
the
right,
level that he was doing it at, I don't think the world had ever seen before.
right, right. But that's what I was explaining to you. That's what I was explaining to you at the beginning of the tape. But because then, you know what I'm saying, they didn't have the technology and all that they got now. You know what I mean? So things was a little bit more open, to do, open to favor, Escobar back then.